Hello everyone. Well, here we are at part 10. This is the fun part, choosing the colors for the interior of my Harbour Light Cottage. What I'm going to show you here is how I pulled together a mood board with all the bits and pieces of my favorite colors, fabrics, textures, and wood tones that I was going to use. When I used to teach painting, color theory was a big part of every single class, because when you're managing paint, you're managing color. And the same applies to when you're managing decor, home decor, whether it's your own main home that you live in or a miniature dollhouse. When you're pulling together colors, the same rules apply. Here's a scale that I had designed way back when. And what it does is it shows a basic color wheel, but it also shows the value scale. And a value scale is how colors can run from the deepest, darkest at black all the way to white. And it's numbered from 10 to 1. And I used to say, think of this as the basement stairs. At the top of the stairs, there's a lot of light. And as you climb down each stair into the basement until there's no more light, you're getting into black, which is the bottom stair, number 1 stair. So if we look over at our color swatches, you can see the relationship between all of these values, meaning light or dark, and how they relate to this particular scale. So the navy blue would be at the very bottom here. So would the steps at the very bottom. But every color after that climbs this value scale, getting lighter, lighter, lighter. Most of these tones are in the center section. So they run anywhere from a 3 up to about a 9. Because I'm not using white. There's nowhere in this table that you see white. Even this lightest off-white is not a 10. It's below a 10. It's not quite a 9, but it's below. So we tend to work with, you can see the white on the edge of the mood board. And I'm not using anything that's as light as that. So we tend to work within the center range of the scale. But think of the really dark values or the very light values as being your punctuation marks, your exclamation marks in a sentence. And again, choosing colors and patterns that work well together. Here's a very bold stripe. And here's a very, very simple, plain fabric. There's nothing to it. Would be considered a medium to light value. But look at how well it works with this stripe. It pulls out the lightest value or lightest blue in this lineup of colors. The same with these 3 tweedy fabrics. They pull on the lighter values, but they still give interest because they've got nice pattern and texture, but they're not bold and in your face like this stripe. So when we start doing the layout of the room, we want to be careful where we place a fabric like this. If this is used in a large quantity, it's going to take over the room. So you better be sure, know what you're doing if you're going to use a bold stripe like this. I tend to use something like this on one chair or an ottoman or a cushion, maybe a valance over a window. But I would never use a bold fabric like this on a couch and a chair and an ottoman and cushions or draperies. It's just too much. It's too heavy. as I look at a stripe like this is a real nice mix of medium value stripes. And this really has a lot of potential. The colors relate very well to each other and they sit nicely. If we decide, or if I decide that I'm going to use this as a rug, which I am, I know that the colors all work well with this stripe fabric. So even though this is a pattern, the pattern is muted and dull enough that it works well with this pattern. So there's a real good cohesion and relationship between these two. The little woven chairs are wonderful. They're one of my favorite styles of chair because not only do we get texture, we have interest, we have a natural fiber, but this also provides light that's pulling the lighter values out of these two fabrics. So used in the same room, they're going to really fit in nicely. When I look at this particular fabric here, this is offering us the best of both worlds. I've got light, I've got a neutral, I've got the blues, and a little bit of the deeper blues. This has given me lots of opportunity here. Not sure if I would use it as a rug, but it certainly could be used as a rug and could be very interesting. This also works with this fabric. It's a nice coordinate. And again, you see where the colors of the signs that I did are pulled from this fabric. These little antique maps all have a golden greenish hue to them, and I have a whole package of them. These are detailed, the perfect scale for my map reading room. And these maps, this paper here gives me a nice range of warm colors that's a great accent to go with the cool blue tones. The deep reddish hues of this furniture also work well with the blue hues. Even though it's a slightly cooler version than, say, the orange tone woods, this wood does lend those darker values, but it also gives it a really nice warm, a cool touch contrasted with the warmth of these orange woods. So let's take a little tour through the 4 furnished bedrooms and see how I used these colors. So the master bedroom, which is on the top floor, was literally inspired by the large map above the bed. I used that blue fabric as a rug, and that became my anchor in the room. I then dressed the bed in assorted blues that were from the same blue-green color family. I wanted the navy to play a role, but to not dominate. It was a dark color, and I had a really pretty navy rug that also had the gold tones in it. You can see the window treatments here with the little striped valance at the top set the tone for this particular room. And I painted that chair to match the rug from the bedroom. The colors flow nicely from one space to the other. They weren't in isolation because there was no wall to separate the two rooms. I even used the same shade of blue to paint these old stairs that lead up to the lighthouse. The old maps, the edge of the rug, the seat, the old signs, all tie into that gold family. Even some of the buoys on the exterior of the house have that same gold hue. And you can see everything is well related from one room to the other. Moving on to the second floor, which is the main living area and the sea captain's pool room next door, I once again used that muted patterned fabric as the rug, pulling in a gold rug into the pool room, and I painted the furniture to match that deep blue from the rug upstairs in the bedroom. I also carried the color onto the fireplace. I painted the dark shelves at the back in the deep blue, and the throw pillows and valances were pulled from some of my own artwork that you see here featured in the boat-shaped cabinet. So lots of color unity is created by repeating the same color family, not just in a throw pillow, but in furniture, in wooden furniture, in the upholstered furniture, wooden furniture, the fireplace trim, the bookcases at the back of the room, and the fabric valances. Everything helps tie the room together. The artwork also features some of the beautiful warm golden hues and pulls some of the gold out of the artwork that I included in the wall unit. Every detail is considered. The brass also pulls out that yellow family. And of course, the glowing fireplace helps to warm the atmosphere in the room. The rug is really the anchor of the room because it has all the colors, just in more dull, muted versions. Even in selecting some of the books for the room, I chose to stay within the boundaries using that original color scheme as my guideline. Here you can see the finished house on the inside above the fresh fish shop below. Check out my other videos for much more detailed close-ups of this finished house.